accept at face value, because you have to literally, for you to create this consciousness that we all have access to access this consciousness, the Jade Emperor will remind you, all thoughts of your mind are not yours. A way that can be walked is not the way. A name that can be named is not the name. Tao is both named and nameless. As nameless, it is the origin of all things. As named, it is the mother of all things. A mind free of thought, merged within itself, beholds the essence of Tao. A mind filled with thought, identified with its own perceptions, beholds the mere forms of this world. Tao and this world seem different, but the truth, they are one and the same. The only difference is what we call them. How deep, how mysterious the unity is. How profound, how great. It is the truth beyond the truth, the hidden within the hidden. It is the path of all wonder, the gate to the essence of everything. Welcome to the consciousness of the way. My divine delectable co-host, High Priestess Jade. Welcome, my dear friend.
Welcome.
And I am your humble servant and Sifu, Taoist Master San Quinn.
What a way to start off the week.
What a way to start off the week. I would have to concur. This is the fulfilling prophecy that is realized by anyone who hears it once. The hidden within the hidden, a realization that our most precious scripture, our 81 verses of realization, are just facets and variants of the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you can encapsulate the very framework of what I just spoke on, that most powerful verse, the first verse of the magical register that we refine and define as the Tao Te Ching, everything is answered, my friend. Everything is revealed. All things are as one. This is the power of the Tao, the mother of all things.
Absolutely. And I think until you really experience it, it's just a concept. But then when you experience it, it has a whole nother meaning in itself as well.
Well, yeah, I mean, here's a big kicker. Today we're going to go over really getting you guys understanding the polarizing effects of yin and yang, this surging energy, things that are electric, things that are magnetic, things are a culmination of the two, and then ultimately the source to all things. So when you realize that, thoughts are electric, right? Feelings are magnetic. Sifu, what did you just say? That's kind of blowing my mind. Well, there's this whole rippling effect that takes place. And when you step past the electric vibration and you are pure source, the magnetic fluidity. So the magnetic fluidity that we speak of, the fluid, the 0 point energy, the absolute infinite connection of what we call black hole energy. that is all the connected dots that are realized for what you perceive as your reality, from light to wave to matter to particle, vice versa, construct, deconstruct, the architecture of the very perception of your reality. When these things are realized, and you can tap into them at will, absent of your personality, and this is why the stressor, the most important thing, one of the catalysts that we lean on this channel within Taoism, is being absent of your emotions, realizing your emotions don't control you, you control your emotions. That's why Jade and I put together all these ancient teachings that are tens of thousands of years old within a digital offering, a contemporary offering of an ancient practice in mastering yourself. And by using these techniques, integrating the understanding of quantum physics, epigenetics, quantum physics model, everything is interconnected. By using this 0-point energy, this connector dot that we speak of, that is invisible to the human eye, but fills the space between us. There is no space. Then the fallacy of space and time, which is all constructed within more the realm of man perception of reality. And then moreover, understanding the epigenetic model. Why do we lean on that? Because it's about understanding you're affecting your gene expression. So everything external is affecting internal, which then leans on the understanding of mirror magic within Taoism, the understanding of mirror neurons, that this is what takes place when you affect the gene from a thought, feeling, and an emotion, which has a rippling effect within the culture medium that is your blood, that is the catalyst, the messenger for the very essence of all these things, the electromagnetic connection that materializes and manifests your reality, putting it out as you are the field. You recognize that, and it goes out equal to or greater than within the universe, and it is realized instantaneously. Now, tapping into that 0-point energy, that is our bag, baby. This is what the Taoists have been doing for tens of thousands of years, harnessing those 50 trillion cells that you realize as your flesh and blood, conducting, maestroing the energy, the 0.07 millivolts of electricity. Wow, it's energy. There's a difference. What are you talking about? Energy, electricity. Now we get down to the get down. Understanding these mechanisms. Remember, Taoism is two sides of a mountain. One is yin, one is yang. The convergence of the two is realized as all things. This is Tao, the mother of all things. Remember, as per the sequence of events that were realized today from the opening of the profound scripture, the way that can be walked is not the way. The name that can be named is not the name. That encapsulates in essence all things Tao. So when you're sitting there and you're focusing on another modality, another healing practice, another system, another this, another that, my friend, hello. What happens is you become even more distracted. You become an information seeker. So we talk about quantum, we talk about epigenetics. Now we get into the get down of the pure source of Taoist practices, which is Nigong and Qigong, and truly understanding that, because 99% of martial form, Qigong practices, Tai Chi, anything I see on the internet is a physical mechanism which is absent of the internal alchemy. What? Seafood, what are you talking about? Me just talking to you right now, you have a surge and amplitude of energy, i.e. magnetic fluidity, that is undeniable. Well, how are you doing that? What's going on? Well, that's what I do all day and every day. And that's what Jade and I do. That's what we share with you within this podcast within the app that we've created. And so it's a visual audible experience creating a kinesthetic charge that is undeniable. That's the validation. You can go across the continent, across the world. You can shake the pillars of humanity, the history of time, and when it comes down to the get down, pure source energy, pure source information is realized at that magnetic fluidity level. And that's when you can tap into what we call the 5D. What you have recognized. I see so many people talk about this stuff. It's this and it's that, and you do this and you do that. And it's conceptualized. And I want them to realize and admit that within their field as the field. I want them to realize how profound they are internally, the power they have within them. And there is a shift of consciousness. So many people, when you start talking about this stuff, and that's why Jade and I always talk about this, accept at face value, because you have to literally, for you to create this consciousness that we all have access to access this consciousness, as the Jade Emperor will reiterate over and over again, he will remind you, I'll remind you on this podcast, and we will get him in. We're going to start doing a series on all the immortals. We'll interview them all. We'll have specific channeling events, and we'll go through every immortal that we interact with. The Jade Emperor will remind you, all thoughts of your mind are not yours. When you believe you are not of this body, what can harm you? And finally, what's the third one? Who listens to this channel enough to have a deeper understanding? When you accept you know nothing, you know everything. Rewind, go back to the beginning, listen to the first most powerful encapsulating verse of the magical register that we define as the Tao Te Ching, our ancient scripture. The way to walk is not the way. Mic drop. That is everything in its essence. Understand this. I work, I enjoy, I express, I realize my relationship and have it at a second by second, moment by moment relationship with Latsu every day. And he will let me know this is the pure essence of all things. And so, as you develop your skills, as you acquire skills from all the things that we teach you and share with you on this channel, you will come to this realization. The way to walk is not the way. And this is also something I brought up recently in a podcast we had with a dear friend of the channel, E-Fam, which he has his own channel called Waidama. And, we talk on that, and he asked me, what is your favorite verse of the Tao Te Ching? The opener, the primer, baby. All things, realize that. That power is right there. And so, when you realize that the simplicity of that encapsulates every single verse, it's just a variant, which is basically consciousness in of itself, as we speak on, which is you sit at one end of the table, I sit at another, we're looking at an object in the middle of the table. It is our perception, our perspective is the realization of consciousness.
Yeah, I mean, I think I definitely attested a little bit to kind of like book learnt versus like street smarts a little bit, in the essence where, what is street smarts? It's basically just growing up in an environment, observing your environment and learning from it, based off experience, oh, this type of person, not a good person. I've seen them 5 different times in 5 different variations. I come to the conclusion, I don't want to hang out with that type of person. Versus someone sitting there and trying to teach you out of a book, this is good character, this is good judgment, this is good, this kind of idea of it. and then the experience of it.
Right.
And I feel like children very much fall in, I don't want to say that street smart, but initially when they're growing, you're not sitting there and going, okay, let's go over it today. Your name is Johnny. No, they've just heard you call them Johnny 50 million times. They register in their mind, okay, that's my name, or, that's what you call me. And it is this very kind of observer's perspective where you're in an environment and you're just taking in this whole experience and then creating a perception on it.
Right, right. And, I mean, this is so fundamentally true. And so, there's this rippling effect. Let's talk martial form or practice or, neurology in of itself, neuroplasticity, soft technology. Everyone thinks they've reinvented the wheel. This is, in essence, what we speak of. This physical body is the tuning fork to your reality. Without it, you cannot simulate a perception of consciousness, which is yours and yours only. Your signature is unique to you. But to elevate it to a 5D reality is to be able to implement it within this 3D and have it realized. That's when it becomes tangible. And there is a progression that takes place. That's why we developed and used all these ancient techniques, which is quantum physics, epigenetics, Nigong, Qigong, 11 herbs and spices integrated into an experience that will validate your access instantaneously within the first experience, first exposure, because understanding that the effects of everything that you take in, which is the thought, feeling, and emotion, which is external to this vehicle, because this is not housing your consciousness, it's not housing you. Remember, matter, Qi, Shen, Wuji, Tao, in this order, realizing that that's the ether, either side. Either you're in the 3D reality or you're leveling up and you're up there 5D plus, and the dimensional shift is limitless. And this starts with the projector, right? So you want to conduct yourself. So, for example, today we're going over these intricacies of electromagnetic, the magnetic fluidity that is that 0 point energy, and is all realized by that tangible differentiator for something. And the frequencies are different because the frequency is different to electric vibration. Ooh. So we always talk about energy, frequency, vibration. Mm-hmm. Ooh. So when we're doing electric, which is the projection of a thought, and it's realized when you are no longer identified as this physical body. Know this to be true. When you believe you're not of this body, when you believe, this is what we reiterate, your truth is the only truth you need to be concerned with. Be all or end all. When you believe you are not of this body, what can harm you? Ooh, nada.
What could limit you?
Very good, Jade. Nothing. So understand that. And it's like it is a fundamental shift. We speak on it. People that are able to access this consciousness, you sit into it. Mm-hmm. It is a shift. Like I'm doing it right now, and it is a shift. My visual experience is that of the universe. I am observing everything. This body is not my limitation. I'm moving around the room, behind the camera, in front of the camera, to the side, in front of Jade, behind Jade, pop out to the moon, go around a couple of constellations. I'm simulating this as I am an observer, and that is the key. And then you create the tangibility. There's an undeniable tangibility that comes with it. And it all comes back to the feeling. And so all this stuff is sort of like conceptual to most.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I like to show people. We like to show people within the app, you master your emotions as a baseline. Let's get this. Get down with the get down. Let's get this out of the way. Because this is the simulation and the rat and the wheel that human beings go over and over and over and over. Oh, woe is me. I'm a victim. I'm a victim of my circumstance, my emotion. And you see, once you move those out of the way, you go, sit, stay, don't move. Your life will become effortless. Anything that you desire from a personality perspective can be injected into the universe and materialized instantaneously, because you can shift in and out. The fundamental suffering and sacrifice and punishment that people talk about is a fallacy. What does that mean? It means that you are trapping yourself within the duality.
Mm-hmm.
That means that you are limiting yourself to nothing more than that. And so every time you go, I'm spiritual, I'm virtuous, I'm enlightened, I'm all these things, and then I must abstain from sex, for example. Remember, the Tao, the mother of all things, has handed you this physical body as a simulator, a tuning fork for you to realize all things. Tell me why. Why? Understand that. Anyone who's an OG that can go back to linguistics.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Let's keep it in your peripheral. Let's keep it in the forefront of your mind by using that specific linguistics so that you're forever trapped within it, and understand that you have all the tools. And so you're limited by you. We've gone over this. We went over this just the other day in one of our podcasts. If you have grandma who's 99, smokes 5 packs of cigarettes a day, drinks a gallon of whiskey, and is having the best time of her life, I'm just saying, it's like there's really no limit. You are limited by your perception.
Yeah.
And so if she's enjoying every moment of her reality, she will sustain this consciousness for as long as she chooses to, because her simulation is reliant, let me repeat that, reliant on your ability to be the observer, right? So she's not the alcohol, she's not the cigarettes, she's not the limit of. And she hasn't consciously been aware of this. This is part of her past life experience that has brought her to this point. And you're like, whoa, man, that's deep, brother. Yeah, it is. And so you have these anomalies, these nuggets that you observe as a passing ship in the night. Strangers in the night. You remember that song, Frank Sinatra? Anyway, there is, I think it's like passing ships in the night. We'll get back to it. I thought I'd just reference that. The understanding that you can observe that. What that does is it gives you a register within your neurology and your perception of your reality that it is possible. So instantly you can level up. Not that you need to go out and go, let me push the packet, let me start drinking a gallon of whiskey and smoking 5 packs a day. No. But understand that seed of all these things starts with your perception. We talk about the perception within epigenetics. Perception is basically the self-receptors within your skin that is the tuning fork to the messenger. All this information comes in. This is nothing more than a tuning fork. This is a projector. All information comes from your commander-in-chief, which is your heart. Understand this, know this to be true. And so we talk about, okay, people conceptualize this consciousness, this 5D that we keep going on and on about, 5D. The other day we talked about the separation between conscious, subconscious, unconscious, and that, people would dismiss the differentiator between subconscious and unconscious. That's for them to decide. Understand that all these systems, all these belief systems, all this book learned stuff is limited by you and you only. What do you validate? What do you know to be true? What is your truth? That's the only truth you need to be concerned with. When you come to this realization, you can instantly become all-knowing and access all things. It's that quick. So we always talk about the feeling. And so an exercise we're going to do just in a second here is getting you to understand how in tune you are instantly, right? And so there's 5 major organs that we as Taoists within the ancient traditional Chinese medicine, within ancient practices that was created initially from the Yellow Emperor 10,000 years ago, and he materialized it through his relationship with the universe. That information was given to him. He then created a structure, and it's a reflection of what, even to this day, Eastern practices and Western culture has adapted or adopted this alternative system of understanding how these mechanisms work. And your physical body is a reflection of all these things. So that's the microcosm of a macro. You are a walking universe within the universe. Meaning the field is you, you are the field, you are the field is you, the field is you, you are the field. I think we get it. So, 5 organs: kidneys, liver, lungs, heart, spleen. These are the 5 major organs, and I use these all the time when I'm reading auras. I interconnect them with their energy centers, i.e. you would possibly reflect on them as chakras. And so this is how we get to that point. Ooh, really? Yes. So I'm going to get you to this. How interconnected you're going to realize you are, like, in a few seconds here. So each organ has a spirit and an energy that protects that organ, right? So kidneys is the tortoise and the snake. Liver is the dragon. Lungs is the tiger. Heart is the phoenix. And of course, spleen is earth energy. Now, specifically, I'm not giving you any reference to a color. This is how in tune you're going to understand this is, right? And you're going to understand how in tune you are to this information and frequency that is realized within you. So when I go to a specific organ, I'm going to ask you to close your eyes, and I'm going to call it in, and it will materialize in a form. It will either be representative in a shape and a color, and it will be evident to you. And you'll go, what the how is that possible? Because this is real-time stuff, baby. Yeah, baby, this is what's going on. You hang out with us, you're going to get realized real fast. You're going to get leveled up, right? And so these are also ways that I look at people's auras. I connect with these spirits and energies and help them equalize and create homeostasis. So if something is excessive or deficient, we level it up or level it down to make sure there's fluidity. Yes, and that shiver effect. Yeah. So, let's start with, so every time I'm going to call these energies in, these spirits in, and they're going to be realized within your third eye, depending upon who is observing this right now. You could be OGs. You could just level up instantaneously and have this epiphany where you can see with your eyes open all this incredible goodness. And I am not limiting you to a sensory perception that takes an eternity. It can be realized instantaneously because you're rolling with us. You're rolling with the homies. So that is realized through your neurology, right? Don't forget the understanding of the 4-minute mile, the mirror neuron effect, that anything that I have accessed in this realm, if you are around myself or Jade, can be realized instantaneously within your own neurology, with your own consciousness. Understand this, know this to be true. Do not be limited by anything. When you accept you know nothing, you know everything. So, let's start with the first organ, which is We're going to start with spleen, okay? So you're going to keep your eyes open or closed, and I'm going to call in the spirit and energy of the spleen. Oh my goodness. Wow. Now Jade's is like super bright. It's like a shine bright like a diamond. It's beautiful. I'm looking at mine. It's sort of like right on the essence of, getting there. We have our fluidity and our level. Now, the question I ask you is, what color did you see? And this will be an interesting indicator.
I saw blue.
Interesting. Wow. Now that's for the spleen. And that's an interesting one in excessive of the spleen in of itself. And when I was looking at it, and I'm still looking at it, it's a golden yellow color, vibrant. And so for her to get that message that she's seeing blue can have other variable indicators that you need to identify with, that can look at. So is there an excess? There's a little bit of an excess on a kidney flow. So how do you reference that, right? So your interconnection with your guides are giving you a message. I bring in the spirit and energy of the spleen, which is earth, right? And she's identifying with this excess of kidney, right? So is this anything to like stop the presses? Oh my goodness, red alert? Not at all. There are a lot of variables that are going on with her right now as she's, carrying out beautiful son and all these other things. So there's this sort of like flow of things going on, and so that particular energy kidney flow is the strength of her Jing, which is the pure essence of all things, right? Especially from a Taoist, that's your constitution, and so her spleen is right on the money, 100%. Kidneys, about 99%. And so just having that reflection. Now, the question I ask you is, what color did you see? Now, the variable of colors will come in all different spectrums. It could be vibrant, divine golden yellow, which would give you an instant indicator of how the fluidity and the absence of storing emotional content, you're realizing and revealing the virtue that comes with that organ, and your spirit is taking care of business. Or you could go down the other end of the spectrum where things are looking dull and sort of like overworked, that you need to bring that up. And that can happen within seconds through the energetics. It doesn't have to be something that, oh my goodness, what does that mean? And we've got to work our asses off. No. Effortless action, baby. Effortless effort. And once that you affect things on a spirit level, all things are realized. Remember the way the tree works. All things are realized. So
Would you say when you're looking at it too, for people who haven't done it before or are just starting to kind of see things, that would you say the variance is less in the actual color and more in the vibrancy of like?
Well, the
of
variance will be all the things that I just mentioned, because it's when you take it at face value, this is a great exercise for anybody. At face value, you're going to get direct information instantaneously, because you're not working up to the idea of a concept. You are experiencing it.
Right. There is no wrong.
Right. And when I share this information, you feel the charge of the spirit and energy that enters into space, right? So let's go to the next one. You can again open or close your eyes for perception-wise, and we're going to go to, I'm going to welcome in the spirit and energy of the kidneys. Good. Now that's a a blue-black color, very sort of like a shiny.
Like midnight
Yeah,
or like sky color.
Right, and she got that really clearly. Mine are the same. Constitution. You understand this. When you come into this reality, you come in with your constitution, what you're born into. And this is where we always go, genetics, schmetics, heredity, pedity, blah, 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 because this is the truth. You are the maestro, the conductor of all these things. You can create your reality in any way you want just because you have a gene expression. That's it. You get to turn them on and off. And that's what the mastery of this energy is. That's what it does. When you master this stuff, it's pliable, baby. And all things are realized instantaneously. You feel me? So, how interesting. And here's another one that I want you to look at. Now we're looking at specific, and it is always relevant. It will come in the form of something in a variable size. So how big, how strong is your constitution? It will be represented by how big or small the actual animal is, right? And hers are just right there, beautiful, perfection manifest. Her earth energy expression is just all enveloping, which is beautiful. Her tortoise and snake is big, bad, mofo. And you want that. You want to see this materialization of a very large presence of this spirit. And you'll see it. It's in your field.
And you'll feel it.
And you will feel it. And so now that I've given you a little bit more, and I know there's people at home going, I noticed that. Oh my goodness. My tortoise was like a little tiny kitten, and my earth was this big, because this is representative of where it is on the spectrum of excess or deficient and how we're going to tune that up. Do not be concerned by this. Understand that that's the power of energy, that's the power of consciousness, that's the power of instantaneous, that you can take this, super juice, drop a drop on your tortoise, and it turns into this massive monster the size of Godzilla, and it's all good stuff. It's like strengthening your constitution. And that's where you level up. You come in with a constitution, it always comes in a form from me. I'm able to look at someone, it's like a battery pack. I can see where you're at. You're at at 100, at 90, at 50, below 50. This constitution is realized instantaneously, and then I just do what is necessary to level them up, to bring them back to 100. But because of the power of Taoism and ancient alchemy, you can go to 100 and above, 100 to 1,000, 1,000 to 2,000. Bulletproof, baby.
It's like a baseline, or like a blood test. It's like a snapshot of that moment. But everything can be adjusted. Everything can be aligned and infused. And, just like if you would go to a normal doctor and get a blood test and they go, okay, your levels are a little low here. Let's give you some vitamins or supplements, or let's enhance it this way. This is no different. You're looking at just a baseline of somebody, and then you're going, okay, let's get your energetics jacked. And it's like people start to feel it. And they go, ooh.
Well, yeah, there's nothing more powerful than realizing that's pure source.
Absolutely.
And you have access to it. That's the fundamental flaw of all these alternative healings is people take on the expression of the healing as themselves. And that's where they fall into this trap, and they become drained, and they're exhausted, and all other things are realized because they're not allowing the access to pure source. They're tapping into what is just the physical body, which is the biggest mistake, the biggest fallacy.
Right.
And this comes in all different forms of practicing any type of energetics. And they're just like, man, I need a break. I need to refresh. Out. I've got to level up. And they're not understanding the mechanics, because there are fundamental mechanics that come with the energetics, and you are a battery pack. You want to level up, go outside and draw in that powerful energy from the sun, and you will realize all things. That just in itself, just on a side note, just when you take in that energy, people don't want you to take in that energy. Instantly, when that pure source light that is in that spectrum of light that you would perceive as the rainbow, when that hits your retina, you have it realized. And so what it does is it activates your pineal gland, instantly putting you into a state of theta. You want to quickly get into a porous state that is instantaneous, and you want to affect change, and you want to, cast magic, manifestation, healing. Get yourself into the sun. Look into it. I dare you. And so now let's go to the next spirit and energy, which is the dragon. I'm going to welcome the spirit and energy of the dragon. Whoa. Oh, baby. Oof. Oof. This metallic armor, this pulsating like glow that's coming from her. And this is also realized, she is the universe. I am the universe. She is the universe, but she is in the process of creating another universe.
Yeah.
So
you might have two dragons.
You have this incredible synergy that's going on. Now her dragon is big. And how was your dragon?
And just to remind everyone, what organ is that?
Right. That's the liver.
Right.
Right. So remind yourself that, a lot of people are going to walk out of here, and I can see it already. And they're like, how can you see it? This is pre-recorded. Damn, Gina. Did you just realize that? What's that? I don't even want to reference Ice-T, but I will. Bye, Felicia. Understand this, know this to be true. When you come to that realization, I can access all things. This is but it hasn't happened yet. I haven't watched the video, trust me. In most cases, a lot of people that watch this are going to have a very small liver energy, a very small dragon. And that can be reflected on many environmental things, the foods that you eat, the people you hang out with, the state of your consciousness, or moreover, you perceive yourself as the mind, which is the mistake, which would be reflected of you perceive yourself as the body. So, know that this is just your turning point, your level up point. Do not be concerned or discern the limitation and go, oh my goodness, my dragon is the size of a little tiny little miniature dragon. Oh, I must be not well, and my color is kind of a browny green color. It's kind of like muddy. These are all a starting point. We've got to start there, and we're going to level up.
Yeah.
Instantaneously, guys. So.
And it's a good thing too, maybe in a week from now or 2 weeks from now, we'll come back and do this again and go through it again and watch your transformation or your feeling when you bring in the color or the organ or the spirit, and watch how that shifts through.
Oh yeah.
Because you can tap into it at any time and go, okay, where am I at right now?
Right. And that's face value. Be like a child.
Absolutely.
Remember, the way to walk is not the way. That means that everything that you have constructed in your mind and a limited perception of your reality is not the truth. Booyah. So now we'll go to the next organ, which is the heart, which is, I will get you to get yourself in a position, and I'm going to call in the spirit and energy of the phoenix. Ooh. Oh, my goodness. Whoa. Big boy. I have to get control of that one, put a leash on it or something.
My
That's a
heart
big
is
dog.
really
That is-
open
oh,
right now.
But
I
not
know
just-
that.
yeah, I know it's open, but it's like the strength of it too.
Mhm.
It's like it's flexing. And so you'll have a rippling effect where you're moving through and this sort of like incredible red for Taoist, red sort of pinky color and rippling into green. And people are like, what? Is that green the liver seafood? Well, it's the center of the rainbow.
Mm-hmm.
That is reflected on your heart frequency. What seafood? And so it's always representative of these sort of like color combinations that you will find within other practices, like, you know, a chart of like what a chakra should look like. Do not be limited by one system, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Understand that you will get pure source information. It will be realized instantaneously by you. And that is always the validator. Do not go, oh, well, this said this and that. No. You are the source of information.
Yes.
And so we're talking about leveling up to 5D. You're doing it right now by just this exercise. What?
Yeah.
What? What's going on? What? Yes, you're doing it right now. And that is a state of consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I'm so excited for you. Come on in, you beautiful beings. Yeah, that's a bit of a joke. But anyway, understand this. It's big, it's small. We're going to level up.
Yeah.
And you can also instantly realize that you're getting into the tuning of this stuff through your own experience. And, you know, you want to get down to get down, you use the Way 126 app because that makes it realized instantaneously, 100%. And so, you know, we're so excited to bring that to the world, and so many people are using it and having transformations with their reality. And we, like everyone else that's involved in the ecosystem of Black Friday deals, we will have our own, but it'll be reflected. For the OGs, they'll get something, and then all the new people that want to experience the Way 126 and perhaps are still uncertain will be realized with the package that we offer. I'm going to send that out, and that's going to be available for that Black Friday weekend. And I would suggest you get on it because magical, magnificent, profound things are about to take place around no coincidences.
Mm-hmm.
So you were able to see that there wasn't a differentiator. It's interesting how the first element was, this one is not, and everyone since then has been very clear, and I'm able to see it, and then Jade will validate what I see, going, oh my goodness, you think I had? Well, it's just information that's out there.
Yeah.
Understand?
Yeah, the first time with the spin, I wasn't necessarily scanning myself. I
You're
don't know.
not scanning yourself.
Well, not
the
like-
energy, the spirit and energy just comes in.
Yeah.
Right? So
But
it
I
will
don't-
be instantly realized. You feel the presence of it. You feel the energy, the frequency of it.
Yeah.
It's like, even if you can't see it, when you close your eyes, your third eye, your projector, will give you whatever it is instantaneously, without question. And so that's the freaky part.
Yeah. And I also have a little bit of I'm not a disadvantage, but other energy working through me right now too. So I mean, it's really easy to tap into to him,
Right.
and feel him and experience kind of his essence, which is quite strong.
Lama.
Yeah.
So now we come to the white tiger,
Yes.
which is the lungs,
Mm-hmm.
which is biggest downfall for most people.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm going to welcome in the spirit and energy of the tiger. Whoa. Again, banging, your tiger is on steroids. It's it's got like that mother of pearl glisten to it too.
Yeah,
It's like
metallic.
metallic mother of pearl, like bling, like you blinged it out. You went to West Coast Customs and you started blinged out. And you blinged him out like he is like scary. Mine is right there, perfection, and that it is in the ecosystem that is my reality, being my protector and my holder of all things within that spirit organ. Now, finally, I think that was fun.
Yeah.
That was it. We went through it. Bang, bang, bang. Now, here's where the exercise comes in. Now you're looking at perception. We're looking at leveling up. We've talked about 5D, right? So now we're going to go to the page of utilizing this. So because we're all interconnected instantaneously, blam, 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 these are all interconnected. So now you get to experience the effect as I link myself, I link Jade, and then I link you guys, and now your spirits and energies of your specific organs are going to create a fundamental loop which you feel in your torrid field. Oh, Sifra, it's not a torrid field, or torus field, and that's the leveling up of that magnetism we speak of. So now we're sort of getting into the spirit level, right? So as you start to realize I move these energies, these spirits around you, you can feel it. You're welcome. And so if we just amplify it up, it's all interconnected, I'll just turn it up even more. Oh yeah, baby. And so this is going on, even though you're like, I don't see my torus field. I don't feel it. Oh, I'm feeling it right now. And the more I pull that energy into each organ, the brighter it becomes, the more refreshed it becomes. And let me just take it up even more. And you start to feel it, right? And as you're noticing, Jade is now moving in the rippling effect, which is expressed through the infinity flow, which is within all of us, right down to a subatomic particle, all the way up to this flesh and blood expressed before us. That is the stillness within the singular, the black hole energy that we speak of. And the more we're moving the spirits through your field, and we're whipping up and purifying and recharging these organs, they're becoming more balanced. We'll do it even more, even more. Oh yeah, baby. Let's get that even stronger, even stronger, even stronger. More, even more. Yeah, there you go. We're going to just do this for a little bit longer. And part of this exercise is for you guys to realize that instantly you're able to change the dynamic. You're able to change the playing field. You're able to change the construct of what you have started with to where you are right now. A little bit longer, even more, even more, even more. Here we go. Oh my goodness. Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Keep it going, keep it going. There we go, there we go. Expand. Now while you are still transmuting that through your very physical essence, what you can do is, let's go through. Yeah, what?
5 minutes to go.
Okay. What you can do is go through the organs. So let's take a look at the kidneys. Much brighter. Take a look at the earth, the spleen, much brighter. Take a look at the liver, much brighter. Take a look at the lungs, much brighter. Take a look at the heart, much brighter. This is a fantastic example in exercise class. I want you to stay in this. You can hear my voice from a distance, or you are present right now. This exercise you can go back to at any point. And as I can see, Jade is immensely in this process of healing, leveling up your biological upgrade that you're all experiencing through this transmutation of the spirits fusing your organs. So I'm going to, without interrupting her, thank my divine delectable co-host, High Priestess Jade. I am going to thank you for sharing your time with us today. And I'm your humble servant in Sifu, Taoist Master San Quinn, and I will see you on the next one, guys.